Sure. What's up, guys? For both of you, just obviously spring break happened. How much football was there? What is kind of the focus now as we turn the page, and what do you expect from this week?
It's just taking a break. That's pretty much all it was. So clean slate right now for the practice that we're about to have. It'll be just like getting back to the basics so that we can just get our footing back. But from there, it's just like getting back to it.
Yeah, it was a good mental break, good physical break. Kind of recouped our bodies from where they were at. So, like he said, starting off with a fresh start, really getting in that playbook and perfecting some things.
Obviously Campbell's not participating this spring. I mean, is that almost – I know you want your boy to be healthy, but for you and the other defensive tackles, like a little extra snaps, I mean, have there been any benefits of not having Cam around and maybe getting thrown to the fire a little bit more this spring?
Yeah, I'd say that. I mean, I feel like just the fact that, like, it's a new year that I've been put into the fire way more. But I'll say that with Cam Ball being out, he's like another coach pretty much. And then we're also getting David Oki back today too. So our numbers are good. The snap count is really good. I think I like the amount of snaps that I'm getting. And then from there it's just about everybody else, and then seeing if we can get more or less for everybody else who needs them and whoever we think would be best to put on the field.
Caden, take us through kind of your recruitment process in the transfer portal and your decision to come to Arkansas.
One of the main goals for me in the portal was to get a little closer to home, Texas kid, so family is really big for me. So, the SEC, there's a lot of schools that are closer to Texas and Florida. So, that was a big drawing factor to here. Coach Mateos has coached a lot of great centers in his career. So, just seeing that. So his resume, coupled with the fact that Arkansas is a 4-hour drive from my house, and it's in the SEC, really drew me here.
Coach Pittman has talked a lot about the progress you've made and him being impressed with that. Just where do you feel like you've made strides, whether it's through this spring or with some of the playing time that you got last season?
Just technique, really. I'd say the most strides that I really had was just with me and Coach Adams talking a lot about just being violent and then knocking back, just like textbook football, really. And so that's just something like it's funny because it's not supposed to be that hard to just push a guy back, but at the same time, it took so many days to get here and realize I can do this better, I can do this better, and so from there it's just about fine tuning, and then from there we can play to the best of my ability.
Ian, I think a major storyline with you is your weight. You're a big guy. Where are you checking in at right now? Kind of what's your journey been like in that regard?
I hit the scale today at 382, so down a couple pounds from what y'all probably know about, but. I'd say for a fact I came in at 397, but even then my composition was way off the charts. But now it's definitely much better than what it used to be. My body fat percentage, I'd say, well, last time I did the scan it was about a month ago, and it was 32% body fat. So that's where I'm at right now. But me and Coach Stowers are still working to get it down. The goal is to be about 370 by maybe the end of spring ball, but I don't know about that one. We'll see what happens when we get to the summer workouts.
And I think Coach Pittman, when you signed here, it was really complimentary of your athleticism at your size. Is that something that's always been there with you? I mean, I assume you've always been a big guy, or have you always been kind of more on the athletic side despite that size?
Yeah, I try to be at least. I mean, I always bring up the handstand I did my OV on my official visit. So, but I mean, even then, it's I just do what I do. It's not there's no proof to the pudding. It's just whatever you put in comes out, Yeah,
have you always been able to do a handstand? Where did that come from?
I kind of just winged it. I tried a little bit. I knew I could do a cartwheel, so I was just it's easy. Just stand still next time. Don't go all the way.
And you played with KJ Jefferson last year. You played for Gus Malzahn, two guys that know Arkansas. I'm curious, in the process, did you talk to those guys at all? Get their opinion on Arkansas? If so, what did they say?
Gus was recruiting me at Florida State, so when I told him I was interested in Arkansas, he didn't have any bad things to say about it. He still loves the school, so yeah, and he was excited for me at the end of the day when I ended up telling him I was coming here. So.
And you said Coach Mateos was a big reason that you decided to come here. How have you found it working with him so far, and then also with the rest of the offensive line unit that has a few other new faces too?
Yeah, well, the hardest part about transferring is learning a new language. So, all the calls in this O-line room are completely different from my old O-line room. So that's been the hardest part, adjusting to the culture. And then, just learning his technique, completely different. So I'm enjoying it. I think it's better suited for my skill set instead of, where I was at. So.
Can you kind of expand on that? Like, what do you mean by, better for your skill set?
Yeah, so, UCF was very inside zone based. Here it's a lot of pin and pull, wide zone, so I'm running a lot more. I feel like I'm more athletic than I showed within the past couple years because I really couldn't do anything else just because of the style of offense I was in. So, now we're running a lot more, so I'm excited to show what I can do this year.
And then, Ian, for you, when there's kind of a target physique that's at the top of your agenda every single day, what's the motivation for you when you wake up?
The motivation is, it's just what I do now. You know what I'm saying? Like, just my why personally, I would say, is my mom and my sister back home to begin with. So whenever I'm trying to work to a goal, specifically my weight goal, they're the two I think about. And then just from there, the opportunities that open up to me and just everything else that God offers me too. So.
Yeah, and it's only been 2 weeks, and then you guys had the break, and now you guys are back at it. So not much time at the start. You're just getting back to basics. But what's something that your unit has done well in the first 2 weeks? Something that you really want to continue to improve the next 3?
I'd say I'm gonna start off with just getting the bad stuff out the way. So the stuff that I feel like we need to work more on is communication down the line, specifically just between the snaps and stuff like that, pre-snap movements, pre-snap views, things of that such. But the things that we really work well with is the interior run game, and then even then on the working pass on the edges as well. So.
And then, Caden, for you, obviously, some new faces on this line. It's almost tough in a way to kind of have to step. I mean, obviously, a break is maybe always welcome, but is it tough to, step away when you just want to keep working with the guys, meeting them?
Yeah, that was one big emphasis the first half of this spring. Really, the first half of this semester in a whole is just learning everybody, how they are as people, how they are as players, earning their trust. We hold weekly poker nights to kind of break the ice and, get to know each other on a deeper level. So, it was a big emphasis for me to, gain everybody's trust this first half of spring. And, I'm looking forward to the second half.
Did you guys play poker over break, and who's the best?
I went home over break. So, the best, Blake Ford's a pretty good poker player. But, yeah, we're all just having fun at the end of the day.
Caden, I know you're a play center and everything, but have they worked you any at guard or anything out there?
Not yet, no, only center.
Okay, because I know Carmona's talking about playing tackle, guard, and center, and I know
Yep.
it sounds big on cross-training. I didn't know if they'd worked you anywhere else or not. David Oakey's going to start practicing, I think, today. What have you seen from the off-season stuff? I know he hasn't practiced, but what have you seen from him, and what do you expect?
I've seen him in the weight room. He's he's strong, he's fast. I expect him to be a really good addition to the D-line, and it'll be like nothing's really changed if me or Danny couldn't be able to play. So.
Charlie Collins, Quincy Rhodes, Kavion, those guys didn't play a lot last year, but what have you seen from them at defensive end? Do you feel like they could step in for Landon and Anton, those guys, and keep it going there?
Yeah. Coach Adams has a saying that we always say in the room. He says the expectation does not change no matter the people in the room. So even if Charlie, Quincy, or Kavion can't meet that standard, they still have to one way or another. So, but what I believe that, or I think I'd say the room believes that they all could step up to the chance or to the challenge and end up probably even exceeding those expectations as well.
And Boone and Talley picked up the defense pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'd say so. Boone and Talley. Boone can't really, I know Boone has this tendency of standing up before plays, but it was a couple of tweaks and stuff that we had to take out, so now he has to put his hand in the dirt. But other than that, the only thing that, nobody really, of course you can always work on stuff, but from what we've worked on since we got here from last season, it's a big jump from where it's a good start to where we could be when the season starts.
I guess you guys go up against each other a bunch in practice. Can you maybe share just what makes the other person hard to block or try and get around?
I'll start. He's just heavy, so that's the main thing. He likes to bull rush a lot, stopping that. It's good, though. It's good to work on that because you don't get that from everybody. So it's not every day you go against 382-pound D tackle. So, it's good to get those reps in practice and get ready for the season for sure.
I'd say for him, with Caden, he's twitchy. He's fast really laterally. That's something I have to work on personally. But if it's like stretch and I'm in a zero, then it's something I really have to work on not getting cut out. And then also he's really good with his hands too. If I'm trying to get my hands inside, and like he's pretty much just like already there, which is funny because my arms are longer too. But sometimes he'll get me, other times he won't. But it's good competition at the end of the day.
50-50 for sure.
Okay, I'm wondering, like, Carmona's the veteran of the group, but he's playing a new position, and he's right next to you on the line. What's that relationship like between the two of you? I mean, how much is it he the mentor, you kind of helping him with moving inside? And I know it's not center, but I feel like it's more similar of a position to, guard to center than guard to tackle. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, we kind of clicked instantly. It was one of those relationships. So he's a great person. And I'd like to think of myself as a vet too now, just at a different school. So we kind of have that same mindset on what we want the line to look like. So, just having two similar mindsets in the interior, it really helps the whole line.
Ken, how's the relationship with Talon, and how much has he helped? I mean, obviously he's not an offensive lineman, but how much does it help having a guy that's been in the system at quarterback?
Yeah, he's an expert at what he does, or at least he tries to be. So, that's inspiring with me getting in the playbook and everything like that. So he's always grinding, always working on his craft, always watching film, doing something to help the team. So just seeing that, me and Talon met a long time ago, so he helped me in the recruitment process as well. So, just his commitment to the game is honestly inspiring, and it makes me want to do better as well.
So did you know him before the portal process?
Yeah.
How did you know him?
I met him on my visit to Boise State in high school. So one of my 5 official visits was Boise State, UCF, whatever. I ended up choosing UCF, but I met him on that official, and we've been in contact since. So I actually stayed with him first couple weeks here because there are people that are in my house that I currently have. So, seeing him away from football as well was really big, in that relationship process.
And Ian, with your weight, how do you? I mean, obviously the weight room has a big deal with it, but is there anything you've changed, like with your diet? Like, is there anything you've had to give up that you didn't necessarily want to, or kind of how's that gone?
Yeah, there was a few things I had to give up, just bad habits. Like, sometimes everybody just wants to go out to eat, like the McDonald's down the street, stuff like that. Or, at night when you get a little hungry. So it's just stuff like that I had to cut out, be smarter about my meals, and then have a good schedule around my schedule, like just have a good schedule eating around my time of the day and such like that.
And you got a lot of snaps next to Danny. How has he improved since last year?
Way more focused and technical, I'd say. At first, I feel like Danny was kind of just trying to hit whatever he's seen. It was like a bull in a china shop. And compared to what I've seen with him, like from him in the practices recently, it's like night and day. And he's much more technical and much more focused in what he's trying to do. So.
And with your athleticism, when you were younger, like playing pee-wee ball, like were you always a lineman, or did they ever give you the rock, or how was that?
Funny enough, I didn't really start playing football until like 6th grade. So I didn't, but I've been put at tight end a couple times in practice, catch a couple passes. I've ran the ball once, and that was in 8th grade. But ever since then, I was just an O-line, D-line guy.
How was that one rep at running back?
It was good. It was a 2-point conversion, so I can't really say too much. But y'all know the level of high school I played at, so it was pretty easy to score. So.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for betting on all the madness. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from college basketball to a $200,000 bracket contest, BetOnline continues to be your #1 sports betting source. From every Cinderella story to every hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here.